Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting, another episode of the Whatever Report where we hang out on a Saturday evening and I ramble for an hour or so about comics, TV, books, movies, whatever I feel like it really, or whatever you guys feel like to a certain degree, because we always have at the end whatever you guys want to talk about. Looks like we had my man GT Key in here tailgating early. What's going on, GT Key? My man Lasso here right on time. What's cool is Iceman tonight. Let's hope so. It is definitely hot here. I think it's supposed to get worse this week. We're not as bad as some places, but yeah, it's miserable outside for sure. I tried to get all my outside stuff done early this morning, and by like 9:30, I was wet my butt off. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I've had this one for a little while. My niece and nephew gave me this at some point. I don't remember if that was birthday or what that was. Hey, Gordon, what's going on, sir? How are you? So, yeah, we are here on a Saturday and, yeah, just hanging out. I got a few things to talk about. Mostly stuff I've been reading again. Still not watching much shows. I don't know why. Today I was like, I'm going to watch something, and then I picked up a book. So, it's just where I'm at right now. It's just what's going on with me right now. So, yeah. Let's get to, we're now 10 episodes away from, if my mathing is correct, from a milestone. On that one, can you show all 300 issues, all issue 300 from your collection? I don't know that I have an issue 300. I would have to look. That's a good question. Do I have an issue 300 of anything? I don't know that I do, Lasso. Because I don't have an ASM 300, and yeah, I doubt I actually have a issue number 300. I would be very much surprised. Everybody's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie, apparently, Gordon, so who knows? Probably played by Sadie Sink. I assume that's what she's going to play now. So, several 300s. I should buy a 300 for my collection. I mean, I guess I could. I've been buying a whole lot for my collection. I have not. It doesn't have to be expensive. We will probably, though, because we are what? 290? So we're 10. So we may try to do something special for episode 300. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a hangout show. That's probably what I mean by special, but who knows? Hey, Blue Collar Dan, what is going on, sir? So, yeah, let's get into here. Let's get our banners going. What are we drinking? Been working on maybe just trying to finish this bottle off. A little Henry McKenna 10-year. This one is okay. I've enjoyed it. It's not a favorite. I don't know that I'll ever buy another bottle. There's enough other options out there. I don't know that I'd ever buy another bottle. It's not that I dislike it. It just is not one of my favorites. So, yeah, that's probably where I'm at. Has she appeared 300 times? Honest question. Is there 300 comics that she actually appears in? I don't know that that's the case, even for as long as she's been around. It's a good question. It's a thought. I don't know. I think I'd be surprised if she's appeared 300 times. So I do. All right. So yeah, that's what we're drinking tonight. So we're sipping a little bit of McKenna. Cheers to you if you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Saturday. Having a good weekend. We got one more weekend of June. Then we're going to jump into July. The year has gone crazy fast. Deep House, what's going on, sir? Hope you're having a good weekend too. Can't believe Connie time. You did. You're right here, right on time. We're 3 minutes in. All I've done is talk about what I'm drinking. So, but let's keep moving. It's coming up on the channel. Yeah. So usual stuff. Tom actually already has his look back or his trending comics video out. So we will for sure have that on Monday night with Marcus. We will for sure be doing a Cash or Trash then. I did put out a video on Thursday. We did our latest Let's Collect, which was 90s Valiant. That was a request from He Who Remains. And I tapped my boy Daymers, who's literally collected all of those books, or almost all of them. I don't know if he's ever actually completely finished to have every Valiant book. But yeah, for some info so that I was right. And so that's out there. And it's been getting a fair amount of views for one of my Let's Collect, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm glad people are enjoying that. But that's there if you want to check it. That dropped Thursday. This morning, obviously, I dropped the look back, the 6-month look back. Too hot in Chicago for me right to drink right now. It's 95 degrees. Oh, it's hot here. It's 90s here too. I don't know actually what it did finally get up to today. It was miserable outside a little while ago. But I'm in the basement. AC's still working, so yeah, we're okay, and we're not drinking very much. We are definitely not drinking very much. So the Let's Collect 90s Valiant came out Thursday. The 6-month look back came out this morning. Obviously, we're doing whatever report right now. Tomorrow night, I believe we're all good to play D&D on White Wolf's channel. I think. I hope. I'm pretty sure. I think we're like 2, maybe 3 episodes from being done with that. And then Monday will be Cash or Trash. Wednesday, John and I, we're going to be technically the first episode of season 6 of the indie show. It's the end of June. I've been super slow about diving into the indie show here. I'm less concerned about like trying to have one every week and stuff like I used to be. It's just like when I have something good to read and somebody who wants to read it with me, that's when the indie show is going to happen. So it's going to be a little more intermittent. But we are going to be talking Traveling to Mars by Mark Russell, winner of the Eisner Award in 2024, Best Writer. And yeah, so we're going to talk this Wednesday night. I have not opened it yet. Well, I guess technically I have done like this, but I have not started reading it yet. We're going to talk it Wednesday night. So looking forward to that. A little Traveling to Mars discussion. And then turn your back. No, never turn your back on the Ice Maiden, the Frost Maiden. And then we've picked out our next Omni that he and I are going to read. Lasso is going to be mad at us because we're doing a DC and we're not doing Wonder Woman. But I really wanted to get to this one, so we're going to be doing Gotham Central. I think there's 40 issues 1 through 40 are in this omnibus. So it's a big one. It's not, it's a pretty good size one. So we're going to do this one next, sometime in July. I haven't even cracked it yet. We got a little while. He's actually read most of this, if not this whole run already. I've only read the first trade before. So, yeah, we're going to dive into a little Gotham Central over on John's channel sometime. Still waiting for this guy to schedule a discussion of Tom King's Wonder Woman. He hasn't reached out, so I don't know. That may never happen. And then, and then Thursday's video will be the 4-year look back. So it'll be looking back at June, 15 books from June of 2024 or 2021. So 4 years ago, what was hot in June? I picked 15 books from those 4 weeks. And yeah, we will see what we think of those books. I haven't gotten the Mouse Man yet. It's just coming out this week, I think. So, or maybe it was last week. But we will talk about where I have gotten in Wonder Woman here in just a minute. But yeah, we are. So the 4-year look back will be. I have read the first trade. It was really, really good. I enjoyed the concept. I enjoyed the execution. I enjoyed the focus on Renee and some of the other cops. But it's really a cop show set in Gotham where Batman's in the background, but it's really just focused and all these crazy villains and being a cop and dealing with all of this. The first volume was really good, but I want to dive back into a little Brubaker here. So yeah, we will be reading that at some point, and then obviously the regular weekend stuff next weekend after we get through the 4-year look back. So that is what we got coming up on the channel. Anything else that I could talk about yet? I don't really have anything else scheduled on the channel or that I am planning to be on that's locked in yet, so I won't really worry about that. Next week, I'm not sure when the whatever report will happen next week. I think I got some family stuff going on, so it may not be Saturday. So I don't know when I'm going to do it, but we will be doing, there will at some point be a whatever report, even if it's a short abbreviated version, to do the June giveaway to members. And since I'm talking about them, let's just go on and shout them out real quick. Do a quick thank you to my current members. I got 10 current members, 5 in the Robin tier, a third Bear Island TV. Old Wolf, Monty Ray, Jimmy Walker. I got 3 Titan tier members, Circumstances, and Really and Playing the Younger, and 2 Nightwing tier members, Daymers and He Who Remains. There will be a giveaway for June, even though, yeah, I'm just barely getting barely over what is StreamYard. I think you guys will like it. The main part of it hasn't arrived, so I thought it was going to be here today. It looks like it's going to be here Monday. Nothing super extravagant, but I do think you guys will appreciate it and like it. So there will be a giveaway for those members sometime next weekend. Don't know what my schedule is going to be next weekend because my dad is coming down. We did not get together on Father's Day weekend because of life. So he's coming down and we're doing some stuff next weekend. So a little late, but we're going to do some stuff. And so from that standpoint, yeah. So that is what is coming up on the channel. Let's jump back into our banners. We're going to skip whatever we picked up this week because it kind of flows out of when we talk about what we're reading. So let's dive into what are we reading. We're going to dive in there. So I am almost caught up on my new comic books. I did not get to Detective Comics or the 3rd issue of Hush, whatever, Batman on the 160, and I'm on Detective 1097. Those are still there. I did not get there. Hey, Mr. John, what's going on, sir? I already mentioned that you and I will be talking a little traveling to Mars on Wednesday. Looking forward to opening that up, and then at some point in July, we'll be talking this. So yeah, I didn't get the detective or thing, but everything else in my to-read pile from my new comic books I got through. So let's just dive in. This is going to be reverse order of how I read them because that's how they got stacked up. So 160 is a cliffhanger. Well, I just hope it's like, I'll be honest, after 159, I almost don't want to read 160. The first 2 issues were so bad of Hush, but yeah. There's a reason it was on the bottom of my to-read list. Yeah, happy almost birthday to my boy John. Happy birthday tomorrow, sir. So yeah, Catwoman. We are still, since this new writer took over, Grönbeck took over, Selena is still in Europe, still dealing with these people. We're still getting background on, basically, as a young woman, her traveling to Europe, taking on this different identity of Evie and teaming up with this group of thieves. And yeah, and the aftermath of what happened like 10 years ago, and these people being killed by someone and being hunted. We're still in the middle of that. We've gotten a little more clarification of who some of these people are, but while this is way better for me, at least, than the Teenie Howard run on, I couldn't even remember the name of the writer, on Catwoman, and I've enjoyed this for the most part, but I feel like it's lasted a little longer than it needed to. I feel like at this point, this should have been wrapped up by now. It feels like it's like this issue here didn't really feel like we covered much ground. I felt like this could have been like half an issue, or even less potentially. And so we'll be curious. Hopefully, we're getting close to the end, but I feel like this has been going for a long time, and I've enjoyed it, but it has definitely started to bog down, and I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to enjoy it if we don't come to some sort of resolution. Nightwing, 126, Captain Hollow Rising. We've been in this bigger Nightwing story since Waters took over of this mysterious group that's come into Bloodhaven and has been supplying weapons to the cops, but also to all the gangs and like framing the gangs and basically creating this kind of police state thing. They had done something similar with Batman not that long ago. So it's a little redundant here. This is the second part of a little 2-issue, I wouldn't say interlude, but it's a little side story within what's been going on. Focus on Maggie Sawyer and some other stuff. It's fine. The Dan Waters run on Nightwing is fine. It's just after having Tom Taylor for so long, that was so good, to step back to this, which is fine. It hurts. It hurts a little bit. It's not bad. It's not a bad story. It just doesn't have me like, oh, I got it. Like, can't wait for the next issue. It's fine. A definite step up in our reading is Batman and Robin Year One. We are on issue 7. I'm not sure how many of these there are. I know there's at least 9. I don't know if it's going to like 12 or what we're going to here. We've got Child Services that keeps checking in on Dick, and he basically had to like. I love that he got in a fight at the schoolyard because he didn't believe his bruises were coming from a fight at the schoolyard and wondering what was happening. So he basically tricked this kid into punching him in the face in front of the people so that they knew it was actually a schoolyard fight. It is. The villain here is just kind of okay, but overall, I've really, really enjoyed this Mark Waid, Chris Samney story arc. The interaction of a very young Dick Grayson getting his feet wet. Alfred and Bruce has been fantastic. The villain has been okay. We're getting a little Two-Face, which is good. We're getting need to sign up with Batgirl. Well, it's in the pile. I'm getting Batgirl. We'll get to it in a minute. Two-Face is in it. We got Clayface, and we got this General Givaldi, who's like trying to take over the crime lords of Gotham. So yeah, it's been really good. Looking forward to. I think it's going to end up being 9 issues, is what it appears, but I'm not 100% on that. Jamal Campbell's Zatanna. We're on issue 4, and she's been dealing with her magic being disrupted, the sword that's basically like ripping her apart this magical sword that's like stuck in her chest, that's ripping her apart every time she tries to use magic. We got Brother Knight, Lady White, as our big villains here that we got to reveal Brother Knight last time. This has been really good. I've really enjoyed this story. Is it great? No, but has it been really solid and fun? Zatanna storytelling with her trying to use her magic. Yeah, I think so. Waid is an excellent scribe DC. Not crazy about anything Waid has done at Marvel, but for DC, I don't know that I've read any of his Marvel stuff, but his World's Finest has been fantastic, although I dropped off of it. The part that I read at the beginning was fantastic. And this, there's a lot of things he's done in DC that I've really, really enjoyed over the years. So Zatanna, super good. I'm enjoying the heck out of that. Art is fantastic. Gordon, you asked for Batgirl, and you shall receive. We are Batgirl issue 8. So basically, if you haven't been following along, this book is following Cassandra Cain, Batgirl. At the beginning of the book, basically, Shiva, her mom, comes to her and is like, hey, I need your help. 160 has not been read. I've already read this. It's too late. You're too late. This has been read. 160 is still in the pile to be read. So next week we'll talk about 160. She has been basically, people were hunting her and anyone associated with her. It appeared at the end of issue 6 that Shiva died, and she had left this recording to Cass, basically telling her of how she became Shiva and her sister, the story of her sister. So we've been getting that over the last 2 issues. In this issue, we see them team up with Bronze Tiger and Richard Dragon, like other martial artists. It's been I've really, really enjoyed this backstory on Shiva and where this is going, and basically sending Cass to Bronze Tiger, which we will get in the next issue. This has been really good. I've enjoyed the heck out of it. I've enjoyed seeing Cass try to come to terms with her feelings for her mom during this. We got to meet her first interaction with David Kane. And the fact that they had a kid based on this first interaction is stunning to me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing. Batgirl has been really good. I've really enjoyed this Cassandra Cain run. Birds of Prey. Last issue, we saw that Barda had been taken over by Inc. the birds go to hunt down these people that have been trying to tear them apart. We see them end up, Black Canary, Cass, and Megra having to fight Barda and basically having to run because they can't stand up to her. Meanwhile, Barbara's trying to figure stuff out, but they managed to invade her computer system. So we got a cliffhanger at the end of this. This Kelly Thompson run on Birds of Prey has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed the heck out of it. I've enjoyed the Sandra Kane stuff. I've enjoyed the Big Barda stuff. Babs and Dinah are always a good combination. Sin has been an excellent addition for Canary to bounce off of as her sister, as a sort of adopted sister kind of thing. Yeah, it has been a lot of fun. We got the reappearance of a character that was kind of introduced in the second kind of story arc. So yeah, this continues to be fun. I'm a Kelly Thompson fan. I've become a big Kelly Thompson fan. Like, her Captain Marvel run was a lot of fun. Her Black Widow run was a lot of fun. I'm enjoying Birds of Prey. I feel like there's another book of hers that I'm blanking on that she's written that I've really enjoyed. But yeah, I've become a pretty big Kelly Thompson fan for sure. Hey, Kenneth Bird, what's going on, sir? Poison Ivy. I love this cover. This is just the regular A cover, but I thought this one was super cool. Issue 34. How lucky are we that the 6-issue Poison Ivy miniseries became 34 issues? G. Willow Wilson has been killing it. Super curious to where this goes. I've enjoyed the use of Croc in this book more than I've enjoyed Croc in anything other than maybe Catwoman Lonely City. Croc has been fantastic. Janet from HR is a super nice addition. We haven't had Harley for a while. I wouldn't mind Harley showing back up, but Ivy's been great. Yeah, this continues to be really, really good. She is going back to Marvel and kicking off a Black Cat series. Hopefully it will not affect her run on this. I don't know that. I haven't seen any indications that this is ending. I hope not. But I might actually start buying a Marvel book again just to see how she does with Black Cat. Hey, Bobby, what's going on? So, yeah, Poison Ivy continues to be fantastic. And then we're getting to a character Lasso does not care about, and he will not want me to talk about, but I'm going to talk about her anyway. He does not really like this character in any version. But we got Absolute Wonder Woman number. What are we on here? This is number 8. We're getting the start of a new story arc here. I forget who the artist was. I think this is Stephanie Hans. Yeah, I think this is Hans cover. The SH, I'm pretty sure it's Stephanie Hans. Love this variant. We get to see her. We get to meet Dr. Poison. We see Veronica Cale coming in. We're getting some little bit of some classic Wonder Woman villains in this version of them. We get to see her basically use magic to create her own Fortress of Solitude, although they don't name it here, so I don't know the Wonder Manor or what they're going to call it. But so yeah, in this land that she owns. But I've really enjoyed this Absolute version. It's been a lot of fun. I'm looking for. Oh, this is one of the Kelly Thompson's also writing this. That's not the one I was thinking of, but yeah, she's also writing this, and it's great, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. And then, of course, back to Tom King's Wonder Woman issue 21, the second part of this Batman story. I love anytime these two team up. Obviously, I'm a big fan of both characters, but I think they work so well as a team. He grounds her in a way that she can be, because she's not from man's world. He grounds her in a way and helps her. She is very compassionate, but he helps her see things. I think he provides her a clarity that she sometimes needs. And she refuses to let him be. He is not the brooding, annoyance that he can be sometimes, and some writers make him into overly brooding, pushing everyone away. She just doesn't allow that. And I think their friendship, their relationship works so well. It works really well in this 2-part story of them trying to find Ares' killer, and figuring out this is really just a plot by Zeus. And like, I love anytime these two team up, I am usually super happy with it, especially in the hands of a good writer like King. Like, he handles their relationship really well. The whole thing that clearly they care about each other in a way that there could be more, but there's not, because they both have other things. Her dealing with still dealing with the loss of Steve in this story arc, and she's like, how do you deal with this? How do you, and him, just their conversations are so good in this book. Continue to love Wonder Woman. No Mouse Man yet. I guess I don't have 22. It's in my next order that's coming. Other thing. So our thumbnail. So we're 26 minutes in. We're just now getting to the thumbnail. I started a new series. I had finished the three Fourth Wing books that are out. I'm caught up completely on Mouse Man coming next week, maybe, hopefully. We'll see when I get it. Hopefully I get it like I did these last ones, which was on the Friday. We got Mouse Man. So anyway, finished the three Fourth Wing books that are printed. I've caught up on the 5 Court of Thorns and Roses books. I am 5 books into the 8-book Throne of Glass series. So it was time to start a new series. This was a series that was sent to me by my boss. I've known her for a long time before she was my boss. So we have, so we're friends anyway. And when I had foot surgery, she was trying to get me this package before I went out with foot surgery, because we don't live in the same town. It didn't happen. She didn't get it to me until after I was starting to come back to work a little bit. But in it, she had 2 books. She's like, here's 2-book series, the first book of 2 different book series that I think that I really like. I think you'll like. One of them, I finally got to one of them because I had accumulated so many other books. And then I was working on those series. And then plus I have my nonfiction stuff that I have to throw in. Is Red Rising. So this is sci-fi. It was a series I didn't know anything about. Since then, as I've gotten into, I've heard a ton of things about the series, and that a lot of people love the series, particularly the second and third books, maybe more so than this one. So my thoughts on this is, and I heard a thing like this is like a little bit of Hunger Games type stuff, which it is. It's got some definite Hunger Games kind of influence going on here. But basically, this is a sci-fi society sort of in the future of humanity, only humans are now basically defined by colors. There's golds, there's silvers, there's browns, there's pinks, there's all these different colors. And at the bottom are the reds that are just like dangerous manual labor. And at the top are the golds that rule everything. And this is the story of Darrow, who is a red. He's a miner. And basic plot point is he loses everything. And he's recruited to to the revolution to try to fight, to free the Reds from basically the slavery that they're in underneath the Golds. And he basically is altered in order to integrate into Gold society. And as a young man, he's sent to train schools and all this kind of stuff. I will say there's 4 parts in here. The first 2 parts, I wasn't sure I was going to like this. I'm not sure what it is about Pierce Brown's writing style, some of the way he describes stuff. It felt, I don't know, I just wasn't a huge fan of the first 140 pages. I didn't dislike it. It wasn't enough, but just the way he was describing what was going on and some of the, it just wasn't really clicking for me. I wasn't invested in Darrow. I wasn't hooked into the world. And then part 3 is 120 pages. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I see where this is maybe going. I started enjoying it a lot more. And then the final part 4, is also about 120 pages. And it moves like lightning. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's really what it's talking about. And obviously, this is the future. There's different technologies. There's all this kind of stuff. And I think he just does it, like some of the way he describes like the mining stuff at the very beginning and then how they go about altering it just didn't, the descriptions didn't work for me as well. But the last 120 pages, I tore through basically in one setting. It was a fantastic finale. Some of the characters are really compelling and really interesting. I did get hooked into Darrow the longer it went. Mustang and Rogue and some of the other characters were really interesting to me. Pax, I'm a huge fan of Pax in the story. But yeah, so I got to the end of it and I was thinking, okay, what would I rank it? And I was like, probably not as high as you're obsessed with that book. That book is really good. You should read it, Lasso. If you have any interest in natural history stuff, you should read it. I was like, I'd probably rate it higher than like the first book of the Court of Thorns and Roses, but probably lower than Throne of Glass or Fourth Wing. And yet I found myself like wanting to dive right back in. Like, oh, I need to dive back. Like, I got to get the other books. Like, the more I thought about it afterwards. So I think I might actually rate it a little higher. I was more, even though there's no like cliffhanger here, I was more compelled that I'm like, I need to keep reading than I was like when I got to the end of the last, or book 5 of Throne of Glass. Although book 5 of Throne of Glass is kind of a decent place to take a break. But yeah, I was super intrigued by this. Super, like, I guess I recommend. I enjoyed it. It's been a while since I started a new sci-fi series. Super happy I did this one. Looking forward to reading more. I believe it's, well, I'll get into it in a second, but I think it's a trilogy. It's an original trilogy, which is 3 books. And then I think there's like a time skip, and he's written another trilogy of books, although there's going to be a 4th one as a part of that. So ultimately, I think it's going to be like 7 books. But I think you need to read, like, the first 3 are kind of a set. They go together. And then the others are just additional or slightly different later. So yeah, dove into that. I really, really enjoyed that. Big fun. In terms of what else I'm reading, just before we dive into my pickups, back to nonfiction. So I did nonfiction and then 2 back-to-back novels, Queen of Shadows, and which is book 5 of Throne of Glass, and then Red Rising. And now we're back to nonfiction. We're reading The Demon of Unrest by Eric Larson. I'm a fan of Eric Larson. I haven't read all of his books, but I've read The Devil in the White City and Thunderstruck, and now I'm reading this one. And this is, takes little moments in history and really focuses on them and the people that play a role in them. And I really enjoy the way Eric Larson writes about history. The fact that he like dives in deep into moments. This is about basically the battle at Fort Sumter that kicked off the Civil War. I said like World War, the Civil War. And so far, I'm on like 100. What page am I on? 175 pages into the 500-page book. And yeah, it's very compelling. It's very interesting. Getting the environment and the players in Charleston and South Carolina that were playing a role, getting the background of the Union soldiers that were in Fort Sumter and the position they were put in. We're getting a lot of President Buchanan's like wishy-washiness that helped lead to some of this, why Lincoln has literally been elected, is the reason South Carolina is claiming that they're going to succeed, which from the Union is they're blaming him for it, but he hasn't actually done anything yet because he doesn't have power. He's not, at this point, we're still in like December, and he's like, he's like still got 2 months before he's going to take the oath of office. Yeah, it's been very interesting. I've enjoyed the heck out of it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Obviously, we're going to dive into Traveling to Mars very soon as our next kind of comic read. All right, with that, let's get to what we picked up this week. No comics this week. We did not, but I did make a book order basically as soon as I finished Red Rising the other night. It's already here. It came today. We picked up book 2 of Golden Sun and book 3, Morning Star, so I can complete this trilogy and dive in. So looking forward to diving back into this world of Darrow, and yeah, looking forward to this, completing this little trilogy that I've heard good things about. So that were 2 books I picked up. The other book I picked up, John will be, I don't know about John, but Big O and, well, I picked up 3 more books, but the other fiction book I picked up, Big O and mainly Bearded will be super excited about, which is, we picked up Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book, just the first book at this stage. I know like there's like 7 of these or 8 of these that are currently in print. But I don't buy, I always buy, whenever I start a new series, I buy the first book. I commit to reading the whole first book, but I don't buy anything else until I know if I'm going to like this or not. So it will go in the stack. It probably won't get started until I will probably finish these 3 Red Rising books before I dive into this and get that like knocked out. Currently, I'm still ongoing with Throne of Glass. I'm ongoing with Red Rising now. So I probably want to bump both of those off before I start a new series, or at least one of them off before I start a new series. Hey, Alan, what's going on? So we picked up Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book, and then a couple of nonfiction. You guys know I like to mix them in. I got to mix in some nonfiction. We got Spitfire, which sounded kind of cool. Basically, American female pilots in World War II, they weren't in combat, but they were ferrying planes to and from the front, basically like bringing new planes to the staging area for combat and then taking damaged planes back to the thing. It's basically the concept behind this. And they were doing this for the British because, of course, we wouldn't let them fly. So these were women that were working as crop dusters that had pilot's license, that were pilots here. So it sounds super interesting. So that is in my stack, my nonfiction stack. I do read manga. There's a bunch of manga. I don't read a ton. I read, at the moment, I'm basically down to One Piece and Dan to Dan. So, and a little bit I'll read some One Punch Man, but there's a ton I don't read. I used to read a lot more of it. I have not lately read very much miniseries in recent years, but I do like a little manga. And then I saw this. I've never really read much about him. He's obviously a well-known character in American history. I saw this. It's pretty new. It's getting some pretty good reviews already. It's like on the popular books of 2025 kind of stuff. So we're gonna dive into Mark Twain, and this is a monster. I mean, this is one that'll take me a while. It's gonna be a while before I start it, but yeah, you're looking at like 1,000 pages on Mark Twain, over 1,000 pages on Mark Twain. So, or right at 1,000 pages on Mark Twain. So at some point, this may be one of those where I read a while and then grab a novel and then read a while and grab a novel. 900 pages of nonfiction is a lift for me. Like this is what, 400 and something? What was this one? This is like, it's almost 500 if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's almost 500 pages. Yeah, because we're in the sources and all. Yeah, 490. Yeah. So yeah, this may have to be, there may be more than one book going on while we're reading about Mark Twain, but it was a subject I thought that would be interesting. That's the kind of person that I will do a biography of, that I think is interesting and that kind of stuff. So I never know what biographies are going to like draw my interest. Usually it's like athletes and that kind of stuff, but Mark Twain one did for sure. So that's my pickups this week. What are we watching? Nothing. So yeah, we're ready for whatever you guys want to talk about. That's where we're at. So those are new books that are going into my reading pile. My reading pile is now back up to like 20 books with these 5. was going to try to get it a little lower before I bought new books, but once I read Red Rising, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to wait that long before I get to Golden Sun and Morning Star. So I knew those were going to happen pretty quick. So, yeah. Do I still buy? Yeah, I do. I have not graded anything this year. I have a stack of stuff. I have some silver and golden age books or pre-75 books that I need to send in. I just haven't been super motivated to do it. I'll be honest. And I'm tempted to like not use CGC. I haven't decided, but yeah, I have not. So I haven't sent anything since like last fall when I sent those modern stuff. The next one I send will probably be old books. So yeah, I just don't know when it's going to happen. PSA, maybe. I don't know. The PSA labels look lame. Sorry, they look lame. So I don't know. JP, new volume of Supergirl. I did not buy the new volume of Supergirl. It was kind of one of those. I debated on it because it had the art germ covers, and I own all the art germ covers from when he did Supergirl covers before. And I was super tempted, but I didn't really want to add a book. I'm trying to reduce new comics. And with nothing else like coming off my list, I decided not to. If I hear good things, I might go back. But who's the writer on that last? So I'm not even sure. So I'm not sure who's writing that. I haven't been reading much Superman family stuff at all. Just like picked up the last issue. I do have over there. I need to read like Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I have that trade over there that I've never read. I need to get to it. I just haven't gotten there yet. Mr. Carlito, what is happening? Cobbin Hall. Well, you know, world continues to go to hell outside of this space. So as I say this as, you know, as I read about the Civil War. But yeah, it's not new, unfortunately, but it's frustrating that we don't seem to learn any lessons ever. But yeah, it's humanity. Maybe read it digitally. Maybe, for sure. Sophia Campbell. I don't know her. What is her? I don't recognize that name. I don't know what else she's worked on. So, do you feel like every cover now? I mean, it's definitely, there is definitely artists that have adopted that style. And a lot of the digital stuff seems to have that style, but it's not exclusively that style. In anime, it's a wide variety of art styles. Now, the face with the big eyes and the smaller face, yeah, like the disproportionately large eyes and that kind of stuff that is typical of anime, for sure. That's something that is like definitely influenced regular comic art, but I don't think it's definitely there. In terms of an influence, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the artist and the drawing and everything else. No whiskey after recent events. I could use a drink. I could. You just weren't here when I announced what I was drinking. I'm still working on finishing off this McKenna bottle. So, not a favorite. I don't mind it. I just probably won't buy another. I probably won't refill that one. So. It probably does not get replaced when it disappears. So, but yeah. So I think there's a little bit of there are certainly some, and obviously the advent of AI stuff like just leaves me super weary of anything that kind of looks like that overly digitized kind of thing, because I do not want to support AI that's stealing from actual artists, but yeah. I mean, I think there's certainly like the art germ and some of the people that have followed him into the market clearly like have an anime style. But a lot of those artists are, you're talking about like an Art Germa, Momoko, like several other Japanese, Korean, Taiwanese artists and stuff that have become prominent. I mean, that's the style that they grew up with for sure. And then even among Americans and other folks, there's a lot of people that have started or getting to the age where they're becoming artists in these books that are like anime and manga are a huge influence on a lot of those people. So, I only have, which two do I have? I never did find the third one of the three that they released this year that were the different recipe. Where's my bourbon thing? So I don't know if I have just freaking it's logged me out. It's stupid. It should log me. I don't remember which one I used. It is I used the Apple one. I think so. Please update your app. This is okay. Well, I'm not gonna be able to look. I'd have to go upstairs. But I have two of the three. But I don't know which one I didn't find. I got them back early in the year, and I don't know. It's with the Google. I thought it was with my. I thought I did it with the Apple account, but apparently not. I don't know. It's being stupid. Here we go. Collection. OESK and OBSF. So I don't have the OBSO. I don't have the OBSO. That's the one I couldn't find. So, yeah. So I have the other two. I have the other two that were not the just normal, and I have a normal single barrel as well, but which I forget which recipe that actually is. But so you have the one I couldn't find. So I have the other two, but that's the one I could not find. So good for you. You got the best tasting one, apparently, according to that. And into a different hobby as of late. Oh, yeah? The bourbon or something else? I've been funneling all my time as of late into novels and reading books as opposed to, it seems like, still reading some comics, but it does seem like I've spent a lot more time reading prose than I have anything else lately. So, yeah. One good run is Marshall and Steven Detective 468, 477, I think. What was the lead up to this? What was the Good Art and Story? Okay. Yeah, at some point, since I sent you to that like 2 years ago now. It's fine. You can tell me you don't want to read it. It's fine. You won the giveaway. Oh, goodness gracious. Speaking of what, I did say giveaway for members will be sometime this coming weekend. I'm not sure when I'll get to do the whatever report, but there will definitely be a giveaway. I think you guys will be happy with what's in there. Nothing like super valuable, but I think some cool stuff. Just the main part of it's not here yet, so I can't show it just yet. So maybe I'll show it tomorrow night on Cash or Trash, or I'll show it on Wednesday when John and I are talking traveling to Mars. So, with that, yeah, what else do you guys want? We're 50 minutes. I'm kind of running out of gas for the day. Been a busy day for sure. I'm probably gonna go upstairs. When we get done here, read another 50 or so pages. I don't know. Where's the next? We're at part 3, right? Yeah, part 3, which is Precipice. So things are about to hit the fan. How far to part 4? 230, so about 60 pages. So yeah, we might get all the way to part the next part of that, of my little history book read. And then, yeah. So I can get through that next few days and then start on traveling to Mars. And then I don't know where these new books are going to go in my stack. I don't know if I'm going to immediately jump to Golden Sun or if I'm going to try to do the dual read of the 6th and 7th book of Throne of Glass. They're basically set at the same time, so they have a recommendation where you can like read them together, so you're in both books at the same time. And seeing as one of the books is focused completely on Chode, Chode, because he's a Chode. I don't know that I'll ever get through that book if I don't mix it up with the book about Aelin. So, did you grade your Batman Golden Age cover yourself with that one on your wall? No, that one I bought graded. I have another Golden Age Catwoman, which is her final Golden Age appearance, which is a detective book that is not graded, that I need to send in. It's probably going to be a very similar, that's a 1.8. It's probably going to be a very similar grade. But it is not graded. I need to send it in. I have a Golden Age Sensation I need to send in. I have a Golden Age Wonder Woman I need to send in. I have a couple of Silver Age books that I need to send. So I have an old school, let's just pull them. I can show you guys real quick. What that Golden Age. Let's box it. Let's Golden Age one. I think they're in. I have them separated. I just haven't gotten them sent. That is not the right thing. Let's see. I don't think it's in that one. Those are not going. This stuff. Oh. Let's see. So, since Alan is asking, the significance of that one is the first Catwoman, her second cover appearance, first cover appearance in Batman, on Batman, is what the significance of that one is. This is her last Golden Age appearance before she disappeared for 12 years and then reappeared in the Lois Lane book, right there. So that is in my stack of stuff that is not. Obviously, the Sensation. And then I have Batman 35, which is first time she appears in the classic purple costume. She did not have the purple costume before this. If you go, I did a history on Catwoman video, Alan, that kind of lays out all these Golden Age Catwoman appearances. Third Barbara Gordon right here that I need to get slammed. Here's that other Golden Age Wonder Woman. Did someone say yes? I haven't gotten it slab. I haven't gotten that one slab last time. And then last one kind of in this pile is this Archie that I kind of want to get slabbed at some point. So anything else here? That's, and then maybe depending on, I don't know if I send all of those, I may also send this first Nubia, second Nubia, I forget. This Wonder Woman, Bronze Age Wonder Woman may go as well. Because it would fit. It could go in the same order, but that'd be 2, 4, 6, 7 books from that kind of older that I have to send. Second movie, there you go. Yeah, Bondage Wonder Woman. I traded a bunch of books I was getting rid of for that Bondage Wonder Woman. eBay or where else did I buy some of these from? Some of those I got from my comic shop. A couple of those I bought through my comic shop, through their website. I don't doubt you can hear that. A couple of those I've bought through my comic shop. A couple of those have come eBay. One I traded for that Bronze Age Wonder Woman. one of the other Wonder Woman, the Golden Age Wonder Woman, or early Silver, late Golden Age Wonder Woman, was an A-OK from Daymare. So it's been a variety of ways that I've gotten some of those books. Yeah. So I haven't bought anything for a while. Not because I'm not really into collecting, but I've got in my mind I'm going to try to go after a giant size. But they're so expensive. And I got like not quite a third of the money like set aside. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it happen or not. The book is down in a thing where I can get a reasonable grade, but I would be paying basically 3 times more than I've paid for any comic to this point. And I don't know if I can bring myself to do it. So I've kind of been in a holding pattern of buying like new stuff because I want that giant size. I want that first appearance of Storm. I mean, realistically, like my favorite X-Men are Kitty and Storm and Emma and Nightcrawler and Colossus. Like, depending on the day, the order might, Laura, like, those are like my favorite X-Men. So 3 of them appear for the very first time in the same book. And it's like, so I really want a giant size. But I don't know if I will ever be able to bring myself to spend that much money. So I've been setting some money aside that I'd normally be spending on some other comics. And it's just like, you're still like so far away. And even if I got there, could I really justify putting it on one book? So I've just kind of been in a holding pattern. I haven't bought anything for a while outside of like new comic books or just other stuff, like some small, very, 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 very small stuff. I need to drink water. As I go back and forth on I don't have the money yet, so I can't pull the trigger. And so I keep going back and forth on whether or not I'm going to like truly go after this giant size or not. But since I haven't decided no, so I'm not spending money on anything else. J-Hud, what is going on, sir? I get 2 of your favorite. Yes, it's right there. John A-OK'd that to me a couple of years ago. There's the 129 right there. Come on, Mustang. There you go. So, yeah. Both there. Yes. Kitty and Emma. Yeah, I had to have that. John A-OK'd that to me before I bought it myself. So, yeah. That one is for sure. That's why I kind of like the giant size is kind of the X-Men book for me at this point. Oh, I left that where there's a huge, the angle on that is all wrong. There we go. That's better. Not quite the glare. Let's get that glare off there. It's Warboy. Oh. Yeah, we're not talking about that on this channel, Jolly. So, yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. So, I mean, there's some other X-Men books I wouldn't mind having. Rogue is on my list that I've never pulled the trigger on. But at the moment, everything is kind of taking a backseat to the quests. I don't know if it's a quest. I feel like what it's going to be is if I get to like, what I feel like I'm going to need to do is I'm just going to have to, in order to justify it in my mind to buy a giant size, is I get a little more money set aside, and then I'm just going to have to like, which will put me up around the most I've spent on, like if I get around like $500 set aside, which I'm not quite there yet, I'm close. At that point, I feel like I just need to sell, like it'd be a $500 investment in the book, which I've done on multiple books over the years, but that's the most I've done basically. And then sell other stuff to get me there. And I feel like that's the only way I could justify it. the question is, what is the other stuff I'm going to sell? And I haven't really decided what I'm willing to move on from to raise the other $1,200 it's going to take to get what I want. But I kind of feel like that's the only way I can justify it in my own brain. I do not have 130 last show. I do not. Yeah. I feel like that's the only way I can justify putting that much money into it is if all the money comes from comics. Basically. Or I should say all of it. The vast majority of the money comes from my collection already. But I don't know. I don't have a ton of X-Men stuff. I read a lot of X-Men when I was a kid, but it was mostly like reading it, as I've talked about when I was a kid. I read it all like on the spinner rack at the grocery store while waiting on my mom, and I never bought any of them. So I don't have a ton of X-Men stuff. I have a few, but not a ton. And I don't have a ton of X-Men keys either. They had not been the focus when I first got back in. I had focused on Bat and Spider stuff and then some other female first appearances. So I don't have a ton of X-Men books, particularly from those early Claremont days. I basically, like, that's really kind of a lone wolf in terms of from that era, in terms of X-Men stuff. I have some more modern stuff, but I don't have a lot of older stuff for sure. Very nice. Only missing Giant Size and 130 to have a complete run from 94 to 400, but investing so much in Giant Size. Yeah, it's just such a daunting thing. I haven't went after any book in that realm of value the entire time. Like I've talked about the most I've ever spent on a book is that book. I bought it raw when at that point the 9.8s were trending at around $2,000. They're not trending near that. I'm still ahead but I paid $600 for that book. Sent it off, got a slab, came back at 9.8. So I'm still ahead. Not nearly as ahead as I used to be. That's the only time I spent more than $500 on a book. Every other book back there was less than $500 that you're looking at when I purchased it. Most of them quite a bit less. Usually it's more closer to like, there's been several books in the 400, 450 range. It's only like maybe that one was like by the time I got it done with all the charges, that one was almost $500. What else did I spend almost $500 on? I don't remember. No, that was like 400 because that one was cheaper. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway. I'm like 3 issues away from having 99 through 219 of X-Men Volume 1. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. See, I don't have any kind of run like that. I don't. Like, there's a bunch of them I wouldn't mind having in that era. Like, obviously, that Emma cover I would love to have. There's a couple of Kitty books I would love to have in there. I'd love to have a 101. I love that cover. I'm not a huge, Jean is not necessarily my favorite, but I do love that story arc, and yeah. But it's not really like if I'm gonna spend money on an X-Men book right now, it's probably a Giant Size or the Avengers or the first Rogue. But I don't know. So you guys have been wondering why I haven't been buying anything. Like, you haven't seen anything like. There haven't been any like unboxings or new books coming in other than like my brand new books. The reason is I'm kind of in this holding pattern, figuring out what I'm going to try to do with, if I'm really going to pursue this Giant Size thing or if I'm not. And if I am, I need to decide on some books to flip. Is really where it's going to come down to. So, all right. 100%, Bobby. 100%. I would literally. I mean, it was a different time. We would go to the grocery store. The magazines and stuff were all at the front by the checkout. Mom would drop me, go get groceries. I would sit on the floor and pull comics off and read them until she came back. That was at the front of the store, like right by the door. Yeah, that was the way it was. Yeah, pre-COVID for 750. Yeah, for sure. All right, gang. We are past the hour mark. I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Yeah, always a reminder. I did the Let's Collect 90s Valiant. Came out Thursday. Go check that out. Obviously, the look back came out today. Monday night, Marcus and I will be back with Cash or Trash. On Wednesday, John and I will be talking Traveling to Mars, which won a bunch of Eisners and was a very popular book from 2024. And then that'll be Wednesday. And then Thursday, we'll have our 4-year look back at the hot books from June. I've already picked the books I'm going to talk about from June of 2021. And yeah, and the next week at some point, 3 issues between 94 and somewhere in the 400s. Wow, you guys are way better at me at collecting runs. And then at some point next weekend, members, who I will shout out again just because, my members, and it's not too late if you want to get on the giveaway, although I don't have the book to show you, or the books, there's a couple of them, to show you what I'm giving away, but there will be a giveaway for members next week, and at some point. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but it'll happen. So with that, probably Sunday night, because I don't think we're going to be able to play D&D Sunday night, next Sunday, the 29th. So that's probably when it'll happen. It'll probably be Sunday instead of Saturday next week. So for sure. So we will do that giveaway. No God. Yeah, there of course there's a God tier. It's right there. Like, did you not see? It's a Nightwing tier. It's got here. So, no, I just have 3 tiers of members. Memberships, every member gets early access to my pre-records. Basically, when I upload them, you get access immediately. Everybody else has to wait till whenever I schedule them for my pre-record. So my Thursday and my Saturday video, you get early if you're a member. You guys will get like emojis and that kind of stuff. You get Titan tier automatically gets entered into the giveaways, whereas Robin tier members, I roll, and for every 5 Robin tier members, one of them will get a chance at the giveaway. And then Nightwing tier members, their main bonus is they get to help me pick out, like they picked, He Remains picked the 90s Valiant as a discussion point for Let's Collect. Right now I'm asking them what they want me to do for my next, like, because I've done like my top 10 indies, and I've done like my top 50 covers of my collection, and I did like I forget what the other like countdown kind of top 10, top 50 kind of thing I did. But anyway, right now I've got a thing out for them to let me know what they want from that. So, spoiler. But he came back. So he's still alive. So yeah, I mean, clearly he's some sort of god because he can't really be killed permanently. So there you go. All right, with that, we are going to get out of here. We're 10 minutes over almost. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, and we will catch you next time. Later.